That was recording?
Uh-huh.
Great. Let's run with it. Episode 29 of Is That Your Kid podcast. Fresh off the breakathon last week. We come to you live from the very home, the originator, the womb of Is That Your Kid?
What?
Jake's bedroom. When we were only a mere baby in the womb of the podcasting realm. This is the womb. My house is the headquarters. This room is the womb of the podcast. So we're back in the womb. Back in the original womb of Is That Your Kid?
It's my favorite place to be.
Right in the womb.
Warm and fuzzy in here.
Yes, so I'm your host, Todd the Bod. I'm here with Jake, Birdman Jr. Across the table from me, another week of shenanigans from the nerds from Western Pennsylvania. We host a variety show while struggling to cope with one another's personality flaws. And as Riley Solner had mentioned, it's like Seinfeld, only worse. So fresh off the breakathon last week, congratulations to my co-host Jake for winning that. And I did help him. I did help his father close the poll last week. No, I didn't. I didn't really. But
that was your punishment.
That was my punishment.
Speaking of punishments, I did eat a banana while you were pitching your work to my family down there.
Oh yeah.
I didn't eat 3 or 4 though. I just ate 1.
And no Sprite along with that. I did get the opportunity to speak with Jake's entire family, the Zerme household. The entire family. It's one of those households where everybody hangs out in the kitchen. I think I've mentioned that before. Like, it's not like a living room hangout. It's one of those families that are in the kitchen.
And I wish it wasn't, because is that not the smallest kitchen you've ever seen?
I've seen smaller, but there's no way that I've seen more people in a smaller area.
It's almost like, why do we have a table that takes up that much room if you know that our kitchen is that little? Like, we should have one of those, like, like if you live in New York City, they have those beds that fold into the walls. Yeah. We need, like, a kitchen table that folds into the walls. Yeah. Because that thing is just...
It's everywhere.
Just an obstruction.
It is the kitchen, but I had the opportunity to talk about my workplace with the Zermes today, and I think I came out pretty well in that conversation.
You sounded like, not like it was rehearsed, but it sounded organic.
Yeah.
Very good.
I years of experience, I guess, but I was just pitching the benefits of going to school where I'm an admissions advisor and what it means to everybody.
You should just say where you work and then whistle that out later. Party noise that out later. I love that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I work downtown.
I heard it in my head.
You heard the party noise?
Okay.
Yeah.
We can move on now.
Yeah.
I heard it. Stop. Okay.
Yeah, so it's great to be coming back with you. Episode 29, back in the womb, fresh in the womb. And actually next week we're going to be taking a week off because in October we are preparing for Is That Your Kid? 30 Days of Halloween. So the first episode in October will be episode 30, and that's the entire premise. That's exactly why
That's where we're going with it.
That's where we're going with it. We've got chock-filled. Is that how you say it when you say chock-filled?
Yeah, I think so.
Chock-filled October coming up, and you guys are going to be surprised about how much you enjoy what we have planned.
I think it's chock-full.
Chock-load.
Full.
A chock-load. A dumpster load of chalk.
Just a plethora of smorgasbord Halloween stuff. It's like ABC Family's 25 Days of Christmas.
Only worse.
30 days of Halloween and worse.
Yeah. So if you like ABC Family's 30 Days of Halloween, good chance.
It's not 30. It's 25 Days of Christmas.
Oh, okay. Well, we should do 25 Days of Christmas too.
Okay.
But we
should review every original ABC Family movie that they have on there.
For what? For Halloween or for Christmas?
For Christmas.
Okay, we have to start now, though. We'd have to start now.
No, we could just watch them as we go.
All right, off the top of your head, what are some of those films? Richie Rich, Christmas Wish, right?
Charlie Brown's Christmas.
Charlie Brown's Christmas.
The Rudolph one, the Claymation one, and also all the Saint Nicholas ones.
Little puppet ones.
They're like clay, half puppet.
And then, do you remember that one? And
I just remember Frost Miser and the Heat Miser.
Mr. Heat. Father Wind. No.
Father Winder.
Father of the Wind.
Our Father of the Week is the Heat Miser.
For being Father of the Wind. But
well, is it Frost and Heat Miser?
Yeah, it's Heat Miser and Snow Miser.
Snow?
Yeah. And they look like Super Saiyans.
There's something wind. There's wind stuff, and I think you're missing.
Yeah, do you remember the Great Auk? He's like a human with, or is it Knock? It's either the Great Auk or the Great Knock. He has like...
I'm hearing like crickets in the background.
Antlers.
We should throw those in.
The crickets? Yeah, I'll make sure I mic those crickets up, I guess. But he's like... It's like the Great Auk or the Great Knock, and he has antlers, and he's like a wizard with antlers, and he basically controls Christmas from what I remember. We've got to do our homework.
Are we still talking about the same?
I don't know. Are you talking about Halloween or Christmas at this point? A little bit of both? But anyway.
Nightmare Before Christmas, I bet, is one of them.
Yeah.
Is that a Halloween one?
30 Days of Halloween. We're going to be brought to you by Todds Vodka. At Todds Vodka on Twitter. Please still sponsor our podcast.
Pass out shots to those of your trick-or-treaters that are old enough to partake.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully none.
You
can partake as you pass out candy.
So, busy October, busy fall in general, and that brings me to my first point of the day.
It's fall.
It's fall, but it's also...
Autumn,
but it's also...
cooler than it was 3 weeks ago.
But it's also Todd's fall concert calendar update. Just putting cloud nothings over top of that. I have loaded my schedule with the top quality concerts, top quality shows out there in the Pittsburgh area, and I want all of you to come and be my friend. Right before this podcast noted, I said I hope I get one stranger to show up and hang out with me at each of these dates.
He's not asked. That's good, but you've not asked me.
To go to any of them?
Well, I'm not going to the T&E one. But go on.
Okay. So my concert calendar starts out next week, which is Thursday. Thursday, the 25th, I will be seeing Y in concert. Why this will probably be my third or fourth time. Yoni Wolf, Josiah Wolf, and the rest of the gang. And I will be going with Brady from Years to that show as he purchased me a concert ticket.
Whoa.
Shukran.
Sick.
Or wait, yeah, he purchased me a concert ticket. I forgot what concert he purchased me a ticket to, but it was that one.
That's sick. That's very cool.
So shukran to you, Brady.
Was the last time you saw Y with me?
The last time Dude, we should talk about that. That's something to talk about. The last time I saw Y live in concert was at State College with the gentleman over to my right over here, Jake. We went there. Was it last fall or not? Last spring or the spring before?
Yeah, spring before. We stuck our heads out your moon sunroof.
Mm-hmm.
It was their art department had hosted Y and brought them in to showcase their art department. One, it was like a free tour.
Yeah. Very
cool stuff there. And then we saw Y. And basically we saw 1.5 Y because we heard them sound checking. Yeah. And basically played a couple songs right there for us.
Mm-hmm. Because we got there pretty early.
What do you think? Only 50 people there? Very cool.
I'm going to go between... I'm going to say about 75.
I am real bad when it's time to if someone were how many people are in this room? I'm very bad with actually knowing.
Yeah.
How many people
I'd say 75 to 100. Not more than 100. Certainly not more than 100.
I guess there was people taking pictures all over.
And there's people standing on by the walls, but that was a lot of fun. For a lot of different reasons. I thought that was a great moment in our friendship because we did kind of a road trip. We went to Dairy Queen, which I remember very fondly. We had a great Dairy Queen experience that trip.
Oh, you were upset about it for some reason.
No,
You sure?
No, I think that you thought I was going to be upset about it, and I wasn't. And I think that's why it comes into play, because we were going up 22 to drive towards the show, and you know me, how I wanted to go early, and you were like, "Can we stop at Dairy Queen?" And I was like, "Yeah, we could stop at Dairy Queen." And I think that you thought that I'd be mad about stopping.
Oh, because you'd be late.
I'd be late, but I didn't. I was a clean stop. a clean burger in the stomach, and then off we went. And then
we went to Dairy Queen? Now that you say it, I remember.
Yeah, remember we stopped
that.
at the Dairy Queen. Right, I had a great time at that Dairy Queen.
We had trouble finding that venue, but that was the last time I saw Y. The only time I've seen Y. I liked it.
Yeah.
You know why I got into Y?
How or why?
Because Glenn Howerton of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia made a Facebook thing about it, and I'm like, well, Glenn Howerton likes this band. I know my friend Todd has talked about it.
Yeah.
Now that one normal friend and one fake friend has bumped it, you know, it's time. It's time to listen.
But yeah, Glenn Howerton was actually on Yoni Wolf's podcast about a year ago, maybe a little bit more a year ago. And basically, Yoni Wolf just talks to Glenn Howerton, and he's just like, hey, man, like, I didn't think you'd be down for this. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, you're my favorite, absolute favorite. And they became friends off of that, so they're actually friends in RL right now, Glenn and Yoni.
That's cool.
But, it was a great time, and then we took each other's pictures out the window as well. Remember? Cool. Dude, maybe that will be the cover art.
You made me go stand in the middle of the road.
Dude, I forgot that was my humor at that time.
Stand on the highway.
That was my humor at the time. It still is my humor, but like
because you're laughing at it right, you're smiling.
Oh yeah, it's great. I wanted Jake to every 8 to 9 miles. I wanted to pull over and just have a picture of Jake in the road
in the headlights.
And I don't know exactly what I find funny about that, but in my head it still rings as funny. Or just standing by an exit sign, or I think the idea of it, and I'm probably going to poorly explain my own mind right now, but the idea of it is the fact that it's usually a busy highway, so it feels a little dirty doing it.
It was a little nerve-wracking. I didn't like it.
Yeah, so it's just to get a great picture of him in the road when he shouldn't be in the road is based on what that humor was.
Oh, did we find roadkill?
No.
I think we tried to look for it. If we found roadkill, we would have pulled it over. But
yeah. In my portfolio, I used to keep a picture of roadkill. A pretty gruesome picture. That when people would page through it, it would just be this opening and this groundhog with intestines coming out. And,
I remember that. I think.
Yeah, I kept that in my portfolio.
That JP Mag.
Yeah.
JPG Mag.
Yeah, that made that
if you
magazine.
Google my name, some of those pictures come up.
Mm-hmm.
But that was good.
But Jake isn't the roadkill, but he is. We did a show. We did that shoot at that old junkyard that one time. Was fun too.
That was before. I mean, we were friends.
Yeah. Close friends before we were close friends, and that's
so a cool opportunity.
Well before the podcast was thought of. Well before it. So here we are now, maybe 5 years later.
I'm sorry that other picture that you took of me, wasn't as good as it could have been.
Which one was it?
The train track ones. I feel like I got better ones out of that day than you did.
No, I thought they were good. You used that for a bunch of different stuff for a while.
Well, but the ones that you wanted.
Jake had his senior year in college. He did a senior recital, and I took some photographs for him. And yeah, that was cool. Train stuff, train tracks. That's
the best cover. That's the best. That one by the train tracks. If only I had a better hair at that point. Because my hair looks so weird.
At that point.
In my life, I wish it would have been better because it ruined it. But the idea is that I'm playing trumpet next to a train roaring by.
Yeah.
Fun. Oh, perfect transition.
Yeah, definitely.
Almost killed ourselves.
Yeah.
Because you were taking that real cool picture. I still have those postcards that I made for my senior recital.
Mm-hmm.
We are on the tracks, and I'm sitting on the tracks, playing trumpet, one leg up, one leg down, on the rails. Yeah. And Todd's getting, a shot. And as we're shooting, I'm actually playing my horn to make it sound authentic. We didn't hear a train coming around the bend.
No way we did.
Maybe 20 seconds off.
It was the rumblings is what we kind of felt. We're I don't hear a train now.
We were oh boy, that we didn't even see that. And we weren't in any danger, plenty of time. But the fact that it was just oh, definitely a train coming.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the thing was, and my memory's bad, but what I think we were on the other track. The train was on the opposing track and we were on the other side. So what I've thought of more of, I think we would have walked into the train. Not that we were on the track when the train was coming, so we had to jump off. but I didn't hear the train coming. That when I was going across the tracks, that I could have walked into it was my fear because it was on the opposing track. So it's not like we're like on the track. We're like, it's coming, it's going to smash us. It was like, I thought I may walk into it at some point, but we didn't. And
those are good. We should I'll put one of those up. I like those.
Yeah, we should. Sweet. Yeah, put one of those up on the Tumblr. Yeah, do some photography stuff.
I rarely do that, so I'm going to try.
Try to do it. So Y would be, yeah. That would be on Thursday.
I'm so anxious. Mm-hmm. What's your next concert?
My next concert, actually, is the following day.
26th of September.
26th of September. As you know, earlier on, somebody had tumbled in to ask us who our intro was, and it's the band Cloud Nothings. And actually, I'm going to see Cloud Nothings the next night. And I'm going to hopefully see them and say, hey, because I hit them up before, but I was like, hey, podcast's still going strong, and we're still using your intro and everything. This will be the first time I'm seeing them live, so it's a big deal.
Big deal.
Big deal. Garrett from Can't Dance, he was trying to go to the show, but he's not really digging the fact that he has to work that night, and so it doesn't look like he's going to make it. But Garrett's friends might hang out with me. So almost strangers hanging out with me. So next night is Cloud Nothings, which I'm quite excited for. The following night, and this is a throwback, Afghan Wigs. Afghan Wigs I've been into since I was younger. They actually they came out with Due to the Beast this year. Somebody earlier on in the year asked us our favorite albums. That was one of my favorite albums this year, Due to the Beast by Afghan Wigs. First album in years. I think it's like over a decade. And they got back together last year and they toured. So I saw them last year. Now they're returning this September to Mr. Small's Theater. So 3 days, 3 shows. I have more on the list too. But we're going to then take a break, and I'm going to see Tim and Eric live. Tim Heidecker, Eric Wareheim with Brady again.
So again, shout out to Todd, calling all strangers.
Yeah, calling all strangers.
Go find Todd at one of those shows.
Yeah.
You have the information. You could just back it up. You don't need to say it again. You just go back 3-4 minutes, listen to all that again, find him.
And this is the second time I'm going to see Tim and Eric live. The first time I went by myself, weird enough. To see Tim and Eric live by yourself is what I did the last time they came to town. And I feared that might be the same situation, but I actually bought Brady a ticket to this since he bought a ticket to Y. So we're exchanging tickets. And the first time I saw Tim and Eric, it was years ago, and it was kind of like a weird, I know exactly what happened.
Was the Bones guy still alive at that point?
No, he wasn't live, though. He wasn't. You mean Richard Dunn?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. He was alive, but he wasn't there.
I hope to be someone's pap like that.
Yeah.
Like, to be known that, like, my pap went on a weird comedy TV show.
Because that's somebody's pap.
It's hopefully someone's pap. Is it pap or pep? Oh, pep.
It's both. I mean, it could be.
Pep.
Hashtag pep. Richard Dunn. Yeah, he died in 2010. So I think it's actually right around the time that I saw them.
Because I remember you saying that, and it was like around that time when that happened.
So rest in peace, Richard Dunn. That was the same week. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I told this story before. This is like, I was relatively quiet around this time. 2010 and 2012 are probably my least favorite years in the past couple years. Arguably speaking, you think how bad of a 2013 I had, mentally, physically, everything. But the weird thing about 2013 is I was trying to switch it up. So I respected the process of feeling like shit in 2013. In 2010 and 2012, I was doing nothing, I felt, to make myself feel better about life. So that's why I feel a lot worse about those 2 years than 2013.
Okay.
But if we had to rate the years of, like, how bad I felt throughout the years, we should do that. We should have an episode one day where we do that. But around this time, I was looking for a new job. Obviously, we found out what happened when I worked at the art school. Well, even way back then when I worked at the art school, it was a problem, and it was like a necessary evil that I felt. But I was applying for jobs in 2010, a lot of jobs on Craiglist, and I was going for these interviews. And Jake, did I ever tell you how I almost became an ice cream man?
I think you've mentioned this many times before on the podcast, but never went any farther.
Never went any farther. Okay, I'm going to tell you the whole story. At the time, I still believe I was living in McKeesport. This is before I moved to Monroeville. I'm back in McKeesport now, but I'm saying my first run at McKeesport. And I read this Craigslist ad that says, like, you could be an ice cream man for... That was the header. You could be an ice cream man. And
which obviously garnished, like, it got a click for you.
Yeah, I was like, that's something I could do, just driving around. That sounds cool. And it says you make $100 a day. And I was just like, that's really cool. Because, yes, it's only, seasonal. But at that point, I was like, I've been at a steady job. And I was like, maybe a seasonal thing, just to switch up the life palette, as they say.
You just made up?
Yes, I made up. But... So it was in Allison Park, which is on the other side of Pittsburgh. So right away I was like, But I was like, we'll check it out because at the time I was used to working further away all the time anyway. So it was a Saturday morning, pretty early, and I go out to this house, and right away I knew something was weird about it because to describe it probably inaccurately, but to describe it, it was one of those driveways where you go down in. People who live on the East Coast would maybe know this a little better than West Coast people, but you kind of drive into it. It kind of like, you see the driveway, and it just like, it goes down. Okay. It dips down into like a gully, a very deep gully, and I was like, weird, okay. Those are my
favorite types.
The gully driveways.
Real deep ones.
And there was a house. It looked very 90s. Big yard, and you could see in the yard one ice cream truck, and then two other places where ice cream trucks would be. And I don't remember off the top of my head what this guy's name was, but in the ad, this is what the guy's name was. So I was like, what should I do? There's nobody here. So I walk to the house, and I see that the door is partially opened, like the basement. So I was like, all right, let's just go into the basement here. So I opened the door, and I kid you not, it was a kitchen as small as your kitchen. And there was a woman that was roughly 400 pounds sitting in a chair.
Did she fit?
She didn't fit in the chair, but like her parts that she needed to fit on the chair fit, but everything else was bellowing off of it. And she was sitting in the chair, and she was just huge, and she was kind of behind a kitchen table as well. And in this said kitchen, the lighting in it was all that yellow orangish lighting that like it just kind of hurts your eyes. Like it's like the color balance is off in the room, that you need to like unsaturate the color and like move some sliders around to get the light right. But it was just like a disgusting yellow orange, and it was a tile floor, so it was like a kitchen in a basement. Small kitchen. There was a TV there. Small TV. I forget what she was watching.
This is Todd on his way to becoming an ice cream man. Just an update.
Update. And I sat down at the table, and she's like, yeah. And again, I forget his name, but she was like, yeah, he's going to be here. That's the guy that you're going to meet. And he's going to take you out in the truck and show you how things are done. And I'm like, okay. And she's just like...
Well, actually it means she's going to take you out into the truck and show you the things that he's going to do to you.
Yeah. And so I was sitting in the kitchen with her, and it was so awkward because I'm telling you, it was a wreck in that kitchen. Believe me, because I live in a house that's a wreck. That was a bigger wreck, that kitchen. And she was huge. She's a huge woman. And just, it looked like, it appeared as though she never left that kitchen. It's just like there was a TV on the fridge, like on top of the fridge. She was sitting behind a table, and she was just bellowing off the chair. And she was just talking to me about just, like, weird stuff. Like, she's just like, have you ever done anything like this? And I'm just like, I work for a college, so, yeah, I've never done this work. And she was just like, spitting game in the sense of, like, how much money you could make. I was sitting there for a half hour, and nothing had happened. The guy never came back. Well, if
someone's late, I mean, I don't know. I've never heard the story, but if someone's late, they're probably involved in drugs.
Basing off their late.
Basing off their tardiness. If you're in a weird home, someone's not there that's supposed to be there.
Drug-based.
Drugs, but go on.
Drug-based. So, and that was her husband, by the way. Her husband, that was his wife. Okay. So she's saying, yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, this is getting weird. Right away, I know. As soon as I walked into that kitchen, I knew I would not be working as an ice cream man. Because I knew right away.
Oh, so the ice cream was off the table.
I knew right away, but I didn't want to bail on it because I was already there. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to walk out. I wanted to go through it because I owed it to them. And to say, like, okay, they want to talk to me. You know how I am. They want to talk to me, so I'm just like, okay, fine, we'll make it work. So eventually, he doesn't come back. Another lady comes back, and she has, I didn't see her smoke cigarettes, but she has like a smoker's voice. And she's just like, well, I work for this guy. I don't know where he is. I'll show you the ropes. And the bigger woman at the table was like, yeah, go with her. And I was like, okay, so I didn't even meet the guy yet that I put the inquiry in about. So I go into the ice cream truck, and she says, one important part of the job is hooking the trucks up to this outside cooler that's like a hose. It's like a hose that's as thick as an elephant's trunk and as long as a giraffe's neck. And
why are you using animals to give this reference? Why are animals? I've never held an elephant's trunk.
You know what one is, or what one looks like.
God, that's not helping. But...
So there was this thick as an elephant's trunk, as long as a giraffe's neck, out of the back of this ice cream truck, and this ice cream truck was hooked up to this like wooden, what looked to be like a wooden outhouse. And she's like, this is one of the most important parts of the job. It's like hooking up this hose to this like wooden outhouse. And the thing was, it probably had some importance as far as cooling is concerned. But again, I was so out by then that I didn't even care. I was just like, yeah, I could do that. And she's like, could you do this? You think you could do this okay? And I was like, so far so good. So we went into this ice cream truck, and we drove around Allison Park, and the inside of this ice cream truck was a disaster. There was empty, like, Diet Coke bottles, cigarette boxes, trash, all on the inside that the people looking into the window couldn't see, but I could see. I was literally sitting in garbage. Yeah, I was sitting in garbage, and she was driving me around. And, like, street by street, she's like, I usually take a left here. These kids are out. I usually take a right here. These kids are out at that time. And we sold ice cream bars that day to 3 different people. We were out for 2 hours. And the thing was, we sold, like, 3 or 4, like, ice cream bars or popsicles. And she's like, well, we got to go back to stock up. And in my head, I'm just like, we sold 4 things. You're telling me that this is like a 4-thing truck that once you sell 4 things,
time to leave.
Like, you have to go back to restocking what's in there. So again, I wasn't questioning it because I was just like, I'm not going to do this. But I went back to my car. We went back to the car, and it was just like this awkward moment. She's like, well, I'm ready to go back out. And I was just like, I don't think I'm going to. And she's like, oh, are you not interested? And of course I lied because I was put on the spot. And I was like, nah, I'm just, this all the time that I've allotted for today. I didn't think it would take this long, but, make sure you give me a call. And literally the next day they gave me a call and I didn't pick up. But my drive home from Allison Park back to my house really centered me in the sense of, I'm just like, you should be happy for what you do in your life. Because, like, you're not doing that. That's not what you have to do to get by.
You don't have to sell 4 ice cream bars a day.
Yeah, I don't have to sell 4 ice cream bars a day. And the whole gimmick of making $100 a day was the idea of, like, sure, you could make $100 a day. But that's just like anything. You could make $500 a day if you really wanted to.
If you sold 500 ice cream bars.
Right. So if I was just like, Jake, do you have $500? Could you make $500 today? You would be like, well, no. But like, if you really tried, you could sell your computer or do something, and you'd get $500. Well, that's how the pitch was. It was just
sell
like
this laptop for $500.
No, our laptops combined, I bet, would go for $500. Yeah. I'd sell mine for about $300. You'd sell yours for what?
I'll sell mine for $150, but if I leave all my personal information and data on here, maybe I'll go too. 'Cause there's real gems maybe in there.
Yeah, Jake was actually talking about clearing out his computer to keep just kind of keep some files, because he's ready to reformat this mug
back to factory default, because maybe it'll run better. To keep it going for podcasting, because I don't use it for anything else other than this now. Mm-hmm. So I think if it was back to factory, it would be better. Or you gone with the different icons?
Yeah. If you want to open that, Pandoras box,
it's changing the icon of some secret files or like work stuff or something that you use, and you make it like a default. For mine, it would be like a default Windows icon. Make it like something really boring, like temporary files, Windows, Internet Explorer. But when you click on it, it's actually like a folder containing, important or not important information.
Just it's for your eyes only files, basically. Your eyes only files.
It's basically you make it as inconspicuous and boring as possible, so someone would just glaze right over it and not. If it's a top secret, don't click. You're gonna go in there.
That's the first thing you're looking for.
You're going in. So
there's some keywords that you would type in.
We talked about this as my computer was restarting and failing. That we had the same idea. Mm-hmm. We did the same sort of things.
I did this thing, and Jake thought my idea was a little weirder.
Yeah, well,
I don't have any files on my computer as far as like videos or weird pictures or anything. I don't have any of those. If I have what I feel like is a meaningful conversation with someone on the computer, or like something that I need to remember, I will copy and paste that conversation into a text edit file, and I will save it as something just very mundane. So it'll just be like page 28 or like assignment 2.
I'm shaking my head right now. Don't have meaningful conversations with Todd. He's going to save it.
Yeah, I'm going to remember it because I like to... when I say meaningful, I'm not saying like... I mean, I guess they're personal in a way, but I'm not saying like if I were...
But they are for your eyes only. I guess that's...
Yeah, and so I'm not going to try to read any of them, but I'm going... Right now I'm scrolling through my text edit files, and I'll tell you what the files... I'm going to have to name these. I'm going to have to rename these files because now that I'm telling you the file names, you could look on my computer and see the file names. But here's one. It's called Rap. I saved it as Rap.
Dude, I'm so proud of you for that weird name.
One is called Sizes. Going down here. This one is called Thren. Thren. I don't know what that means, but that's another personal conversation. One's called Staff Meeting. That's typical of what I would save stuff as, like staff meeting. One's called Capsule. So like these are all file names that people would look at and think nothing, literally nothing of that. But it's just a way to kind of remember important things. I'm very forgetful. I have problems sometimes. I get so wrapped up in my own head sometimes I forget what I'm doing. So when I go back to consciousness, I don't remember what I just discussed with myself. But that's basically the idea of that. Do you think you're going to reformat the computer soon?
That's like asking me if I'm going to maybe like look at emails soon or do anything like that. At this point, marching band season, when I have a free night, I'm completely so selfish about it that I just do anything or nothing that I want, and I just do that. And I try to squeeze it all into that one day a week that I have off. Mm-hmm. That one day a week that I have off, and I don't do anything productive on those days. This morning, though, I did wake up at 9 o'clock, and I deleted all these work emails.
Yeah.
Because I work at 2 schools,
Yeah.
That means I get the spam for 2 schools, and that means I get all these emails. I'd say 95, 96, upwards of 97% of every email that I get is not for me. They're just like a blanket email to all the faculty or to all the teachers. 3-4% of it has to do with
So it's
me.
like a reply all type situation.
And so I have to like trudge my way through, like put on my wading boots and just wade through and decipher, like, is this something for me?
Yeah.
Nope. This one kind of. Nope. This one is.
What's an example of an email that is for you that you get? Like, what's the kind of emails you get?
Hey, there's an assembly on Tuesday. I'll if you could just take my class to the gym so they could see the assembly.
And you say, yeah, perfect, yes. Like,
I obviously won't read it because I don't wade through those emails. So I'll just go in and they'll be like, there's an assembly on the announcements, and I say, okay, let's all go.
Is your work character a lot like your actual character?
Right now?
Like, I'm just saying in general. Like, do you conduct yourself the same way at work?
I try to represent who I am. I don't try to be fake.
Yeah.
Fake me. I try to represent a more professional, obviously, and more responsible.
Yeah.
But I leak through, and I'm okay with letting that leak through because I'm not perfect, and I want other people to know that.
Yeah, I think that's great advice for our unemployed listeners out there. You know, because there may be some out there that really need that kick in the butt, and we will say that we'll give you that kick if you kick ours.
Kick ours.
But that's basically how I am at work too, is like, I mean, I can't hide this. I can't hide all of this all the time. And, I wish I could, but it kind of comes through. And the people who do enjoy it, they enjoy it a lot, but there's a lot of people who don't.
Yeah. I try to be as flexible. I try to be as flexible as possible, and people dig that. Because they're like, oh, can you do me a favor? Can you switch my class with this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm going to be here no matter what. So just come bring your class, whenever. They're like, oh, thank you. And they think it's like such a big favor. I'm like, not a big deal. But I guess they appreciate that because, so that's fine. And so I think people remember those sort of things. So when I need something, they're like, yeah, I'm more inclined to
remember
say,
when...
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I try to be as carefree because a lot of teachers, they stress out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, what do you need? Sure. Okay, whenever. They're like, oh, thanks.
I mean, that's the same thing here. Like, for example, if somebody needs to, like, work a Saturday, if somebody can't work a Saturday, I always am the first to jump on it because I'm like, I'm the only one without a life here, so I could do that. But then later down the road when I want to do something, remember that I took that Saturday for you.
Yeah, brother.
Remember that.
My favorite dynamic. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. My favorite dynamic is actually throwback. Brody's mom.
Yeah.
Kid pulled his tooth out. Brody's mom is actually one of the teachers there, and she's actually one of the most laid-back people there, and we fake butt heads all the time.
Fake butt heads. I like that.
Yeah, it's like we pretend like we're mad and like we make this big show, and other teachers actually really think that we're arguing with one another. It's a really good dynamic.
I love that. I love that general vibe.
We just dig into one another and make fun. Like, she'll put up a bulletin board. I'll be like, yeah, that bulletin board looks real nice, and I'll have like dripping with the stain in my voice, and she's like, oh yeah, I haven't seen you put up a bulletin board ever. It's like, well, because I don't really need to represent myself. I don't know. It just, I'm making up a fake scenario.
Did you guys ever use like harsh language in front of kids to get the angle over, sort of, with the kids?
Sort of. We do buy each other coffee every now and again.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. I like the idea of that. I kind of do that with some of my students because most of my students are all older than me, and so there's some that like that, some that you're just like, but. And this is something that I may have said on this podcast before. I'm not sure. But I actually get mistaken for a woman once a week on the phone. And it's hard to kind of correct that because you're trying to help somebody. So, like, I'd be walking somebody through something, and they just go like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I'm just like, oh, how do I get out of that? Because I can't be like, I'm a boy. I'm a man. Because it makes
Todd.
It makes it, that's what I do. So, like, I kind of reiterate that. I'm just like, well, hey, I'm glad we got this worked out. And again, my name is Todd, and you could reach me at that number that I gave you before. And they're like, okay, yeah. But there are some people that it's weird because you could see it. I've actually had somebody specifically, when I saw them, they said, and it wasn't like a good thing or a bad thing, but they were just like, they're just like, oh, you're not what I expected. And I was like, oh, because you thought I was a woman probably. But
well, that's funny. When I was an impressionable teenager, young man, and I answered the home phone here, like telemarketers or like whoever's calling here, they'd mistake me and be like, hello, Mrs. Zerme, can I speak to you for a few moments? And I get mistaken as my mom. And being like a young man who's like
no!
trying to puff my cheeks out, puff your chest out, like, I'm a guy. It was just crushing me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I hate my voice now.
Yeah.
But that only happened a few times, but I was mad about it every time.
Yeah, I think you have a nice
I'd be like,
voice.
I'll make sure to go Google my mom. I'll go get her now.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff.
I know, yeah. But I mean, you sing now in your band sometimes, so you have a great voice. My voice has never recovered. It just sounds like this. And my voice, I guess, comes from, you would assume, your parents, like your mom and your dad, and that's what I want to kind of get into.
I'm so ready.
This is going to be called Where Does Your Voice Come From?
It's actually, how did my voice get like this?
Oh.
There's our segment called, How Did My Voice Get Like This?
How did my voice get like this? So, I was thinking a lot about our buddy Alex up in New York, how we made him call his mom. And I still feel bad about that just because it went so well.
It was beautiful.
What I want, because in my head right now, coming into life, I think your voice is a combination of your parents' voice. So if you want to talk about like genes, eye color, hair color, anything like that.
There's also inflections.
Mental issues have been passed down in the Tonderas for quite some time. So this is just something that I'm going to call my mom and then my dad.
Okay, let's do it.
So you listeners out there, kids of the Is That Your Kid universe, you can find out why my voice is this.
Todd is calling his mom. You think she's maybe napping?
Probably. It's 2:00.
Here we go.
She may not pick up because she doesn't much when I call.
Your call has been forwarded.
Well, she didn't pick up there, so now I'll call my father. Now this might be just in itself.
Well, she wasn't there. We're gonna try Todd's dad.
Yeah.
He's gonna pick up. He picked us up on the way back from New York City.
Yeah.
Dropped me off at the show.
Oh, here's my mom. She's calling back.
Oh, great.
Hello?
Hello, what's up?
Hey, I was just giving you a ring because I'm at Jake's, and I was seeing if you wanted any like Chinese food on the way back. I was gonna pick some stuff up.
Yeah, pick some stuff up, and I could pay you later. I gotta go to the store and get money. I don't have any money on me.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Do you want me to pick some?
do it?
Yeah, do you want to pick something up for Jen too, or she?
Yeah, get me the chicken and vegetables, and I guess get Jen that too.
Okay, well that's fine. Is she gonna be home or?
She went to the mall, so she'll be back.
Okay, is she with Craig or?
No, she just went up to the mall to get some stuff for the wedding.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll be back in probably like a half hour or so.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
It was great. Chicken and vegetables.
Dude,
good choice.
I'm so excited. I think I was low energy before, but know that my mom's gonna buy me some food today. Excited about that.
Dude, nice.
I mean, I'm gonna buy it, but then she's gonna reimburse me, which is great. So that's my mom. So that's that part of the voice. The other part of the voice would come from my father. And we're going to call him there. He's probably going to ask me car questions, I bet.
All right. Here we go.
You have reached mailbox.
He might call back. But anyway, that's part of it.
Maybe we could do a two-parter. We'll try again next week.
A two-parter.
How did my voice end up like this? That's segment 1. That was great.
1 of 2. So
maybe not how my voice ended up like this. Maybe we should just make how I ended up like this.
Just make it a broad spectrum.
Honduras definitely like Chinese food.
Yeah, dude.
They're all about it.
Yeah, dude. It's just like, because it's, actually when I was growing up, and I think, I could say this, I think my family would be fine that I said this, because I don't think they listen. I mean, they don't listen anyway. But the reason why I originally hated, like, any kind of spaghetti or anything like that, and this is something that's going to, I hope this strikes a chord with you. The reason why I like sauce with stuff, like a lot of sauce, is because when I grew up, we didn't use much sauce on anything at all. We actually, after my parents got divorced, we didn't really have an income because my mom worked at a department store and me and my sister were too little to work at the time. We'd use very little on everything. And like, anytime I have like not enough sauce, it reminds me of my childhood.
So you're like, more sauce, please.
Yeah, so it honestly makes me feel good inside if I could say like, put more sauce on, sir. Like, sauce it up.
You know what? You know the exact opposite, Todd?
Yeah.
Growing up, they used too much damn sauce
on
in
everything.
My house. It was like soup spaghetti. I hated it. They still do it. I hate it. That's to this day why I don't like a lot of sauce. It's the exact opposite.
The exact opposite. You had a plethora of sauce. I had no sauce. And
they probably just added water to the sauce.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, they needed even more soupy. So it's not like more out of the can. It was more of.
Yeah, it's just, I never loved it. It was always fine.
Yeah.
Just too much damn sauce.
But I had the 2 meals that were made growing up that I could remember. 3 meals actually. My dad. This is when my parents were together. My dad would make hot sausage. Then there was spaghetti and stew. When my dad left, there was then spaghetti and stew. The hot sausage was taken out, but the spaghetti had very to little. Like it had, like the noodles just had a grazing of sauce on it. And I just remember thinking like, this is the worst. And at the time I didn't know what we were on food stamps. I'm sure I was just a little like, a little idiot. I was just like, why can't we have what everybody else has? And my mom was just like, I don't know. But like, truth be told, like we didn't have any money. And stew, which she still kind of makes, like I'd say like bi-monthly, she'll get a stew going. It's still the same stew, a traditional stew. But, yeah, if we want to turn this segment, like, really on its back here, like a turtle on its back, that's how I came to be. That's why I didn't like sauce.
Okay. All right.
Why? That's why I like sauce now. So now that I put the darkening cloud over the podcast.
Yeah, this is like a Todd pod. This week.
Yeah. So,
ice cream stories, how I came to be stories. Food stamp stories. This is a Todd pod.
And
speaking of Todd pods, let's keep the spotlight on you.
Yeah. Okay.
Of all your accomplishments.
Yeah.
And more importantly, your
failures.
most recent failures.
Yeah. Oh.
Todd doesn't like smells. We're in my room. I
had one job today.
A nice calming thing. I got out my candle wax warmer. It was like, what would you say that smell is?
It smelled like an inside cabin. Inside of a cabin with cinnamon in the air. So a little bit of cinnamon in the air.
It is cinnamony.
Cinnamon.
It smells like someone's aunt's house, but I dig it. And I had it going, and the wax was nice and wet.
Yeah.
Nice and wet. I go down to get some coffee. I hear a clink clank. Todd just accidentally bumped into it.
Yeah. And I feel terrible about it because he was like, hey, just don't hit that. I'm like, why would I ever hit that? Clink. Literally, 10 minutes later, I hit that. There's wax all over his floor and the inside of his cooking pot.
It's just the
liquid cooking. Folks out there, you know what it is. That like liquid that smells good that you melt.
It's called wax.
A melting wax pot.
Smelly wax. But I think we can recover from that. But I did want to bring that to light. Just a little. Just not to make him feel bad, but just to make me
feel bad, which I do feel bad. Oh, this is my dad. This is perfect.
How I Came to Be, Part 2.
How I Came to Be, Part 2. Hello?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy. I've just given a call to check in with you because I haven't really talked to you this week.
Me neither. I didn't know what you were up to.
Yeah, I got
working and stuff like that.
I got my car back.
Yeah, I know. Remember we talked?
Yeah. Well, no. You didn't know about this part. I took it to Lewis.
Oh, what was the matter with it?
It was I kept getting like this thing that would pop up on my dashboard that would say like service traction system.
Uh-huh.
And I took it down to him there on, Fifth Avenue, and he had it up. He put it up, and he couldn't find anything wrong with it, physically at least. And he said it might have been just like a computer sensor inside, so he reset the sensor. And then he gave me a number to call for a guy that works on that because he says he doesn't work on that. So good news and bad news is, the bad news is it wasn't fixed, but the good news is it's not going to be like a serious problem. It might just be a computer thing.
Okay, good. So you're still driving it, right?
Yeah. Because I got my car back on early in the week, and then this past Thursday is when I had it at Lewis, and then I picked it up Friday.
Okay, so, you know that was going on. Well, I'm glad you took care of it.
Yeah,
How much you cost you?
I got an oil change for $30, and that's all he charged me. He didn't charge me to look at the car because he didn't do any, anything to it.
That was well worth it, though.
Yeah. So how's everything with work and stuff?
It's okay. I'm still there. They're just starting on the North for Sale store, so that's where I'm supposed to end up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Uh-huh.
Sure, I'm just not used to not making any money,
Yeah.
I was thrilled with my other job.
Yeah.
How's your job?
It's okay, I'm liking it, and, we just started another session beginning of September, and I got some students in, and... What's that?
You didn't take some classes?
I'm gonna try to. I gotta go back to school at some point if I'm ever gonna have...
You gotta get a degree there, buddy.
I know, man. I gotta get one, but,
I know. You have a great opportunity, too. It won't cost you much.
Yeah, I have to pay for books, and I just have to pay for books, so I need a computer, though, to do that, to go to school.
I need a job that I can afford to buy it.
Yeah, but, it sounds like everything's on the up and up on your end and stuff.
I'm glad at least it's steady work, Todd. You don't have to worry about conniving people and stuff. It's a big college.
It's different. I had to worry about that before.
Yeah, so you don't have to watch your back as much here, do you?
No, Yeah, people generally like me where I work.
I said that, too. You make friends easy.
Yeah, I try to make friends. It's not always easy, but...
It makes your job easier than when you have friends to go, do stuff with.
Right.
Work.
And how's everything with Tim? Is that going okay?
With, who?
Tim, because, do you work with him at all, or no?
Him and Uncle George are working down in the Keysport, but they're supposed to be opening that store in the next week or so.
Mm-hmm.
In that one on top of the Homestead High Level Bridge there.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be opening that, and that's where he's going to be.
Okay. All right, well,
Yep.
How's Uncle George feeling?
He's all right. He works every day. He's cooking, working in the yard and stuff, staying busy.
Yeah. I saw Uncle Tom a couple days ago, and he had kind of like real weird to me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I worked Saturday. Saturday I worked. Friday I didn't work because I worked Saturday. And so I was coming through the neighborhood on Friday, and I saw him. I was with Mike, little Mike. And we stopped kind of by the stop sign, kind of coming into coming into where I live. And he was just like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I was just like, "Nothing." He's like, "Oh, you're not at work?" And I'm like, "I didn't have to work on Friday." And he says, "Oh, you don't work on Fridays?" I'm like, "I do." But he like made it seem like that I was like being a bum and not working. Like just how he's like, "Oh, okay, you're not at work, huh?"
I have not talked to him.
So I was like, I don't know. I was kind of put off by it because he just acted like I didn't work. And I was like, all right.
When he comes in here, he goes, "What are you doing home?" I'm like, "I only work till 1 o'clock,
So I don't know. But I don't know. I just want...
Like he's the only one that works, but believe me.
Yeah, because I was like, well, what are you doing in the neighborhood? He was like, just cutting through. And I was like, yeah, I don't work today because I work tomorrow, basically. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay. I was like, what, man? I don't know.
That's the way he is, man.
All right. Well, I just wanted to call and check up on you and stuff. It's good to hear you're doing well. Well, if you need anything, just...
I'm sticking by. I feel better and I get along good. I remember things,
Yeah.
I feel I'm leading a better life.
Well, that's good, man. I mean, if you need anything, just give me a
call.
call.
I'm poor as hell, but that's the way it goes.
I'm poor as hell, too. So we're both in that together. If you
I'm glad you're doing okay, and I'm glad that. And I want to get your car before it gets too cold. I want to detail your car. Well, not as good as stores do it, but I want to bring it here and scrub it all up.
Okay, yeah, you'd be really happy with the headlights put in. You'd be really proud of those.
Oh, I'm so happy about it. Is it any brighter driving?
It is so much brighter driving. I have to admit that.
Good.
Yeah. So.
Good.
But
I appreciate you calling there, young man. I miss you.
Okay, well, just hit me up during the week. Maybe we'll go get some dinner.
Okay, on what days you working late?
Tuesdays I work late. Everything else I get back to the area probably around 6:37.
Well, we'll definitely have to do Mexican this week.
Okay, yeah, definitely Mexican.
Okay, Toddy.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, love you, buddy.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Jake. That was the longest conversation I've had with my dad in months.
Good update.
Good update. So
and that ends part 2 of how I came to be. I forget the original name of it.
Yeah, anytime we say it, it'll just be something different.
This is the way I turned out.
Yeah.
And I think you turned out to be a very nice man.
I'm still working on it, and, my dad is in his 50s, and he's still working on the person he wants to be, so it's just about... I didn't mean this episode to be about me, but I guess it is. This one's about me. So I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But I know something that's more so on your end of things. You have a musical guest this week.
Let's wrap it up. I have a band of the week, or whatever we call it.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited. I'm actually going to be playing with these guys and gal, singular, question mark? Maybe gals.
Mm-hmm.
Band right out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Lone Wolf Club. Band made up of five core members. I think they all went to Duquesne University, interestingly enough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They all went to Duquesne University. Justin, Zach, Keith, Tyler, and Corey. And like I said, tons of extra additional members. Maybe they'll have a cello player here.
If you guys in the Lone Wolf Club, if you want to hang out with me in Pittsburgh, you already know the shows I'm going to, so come hang out with me.
They're at Club Cafe pretty much every Monday.
Ooh, okay.
Absolutely.
I'll go check those guys out.
We should go check them out. I've been meaning to, but I have rehearsal on Monday, so
yeah.
I can't do that. We'll have to get in touch. Very excited to have these guys on the show. I just saw them in Lawrenceville for a Rock All Night tour right after the Seams were done playing. I made it a point to come down and see these guys. They didn't have the whole band, which was fine for me, but I'm excited to see them again. I want to say this. Let's put a Seams Lone Wolf Club set together. Let's do it.
Get the Harlan twins in there. We're good.
Oh, yeah. That'd be sick. They're right out of here, too. Let's make a night of it. Let's make a night of it. Lone Wolf Club sent us in a track that we're going to play. This is called Home.
Father, I have left this town. I've come to know as intimate as death will know the hearse. I've gone to find some meaning for these crooked bones. I guess this is what people mean by birth. Leaving home. Brother, will I meet you in some distant land, knowing that we fought the good fight and the war? Or will we find each other dying on some crimson sand and wonder what the hell have we been fighting for? So far from home. stronger one's the proper way to bury all the dead. God said you can die, but don't you quit. Mother, when I see tears falling from your eyes, it puts a heavy aching on my heart. And I don't care if at this tunnel's and there ain't no light. I know I do my best work in the dark. Coming home. Remember when my body's wasted in the ground? Maybe then you'll finally believe that this body only held up 'cause you stuck around. And all will crawl on back into the sea. And finally home.
All right, we're back. Great
little
song.
bit of everything here.
Little
Is
bit
That
of
Your
everything.
Kid? I love it. Very cool.
And that's what I've really appreciated about our musical guests is the fact that it's a different band every week. You know, when you listen to a musical guest on Is That Your Kid, it's going to be different. There's something there for everybody. And I'd like to hang with them at Club Cafe. Certainly. Do they have a band camp or anything?
They do have a band camp. It is w.com. Oh wait, Bandcamp. No, I was thinking SoundCloud.
Oh,
They do
SoundCloud.
have SoundCloud.com/Lone Wolf Club. They have Instagram as well. Instagram.com, IG, /Lone Wolf Club, and you could definitely find them on Facebook, /Lone Wolf Club.
So thank you guys for being a musical guest this week. We greatly appreciate everybody that reaches out to us. Is That Your Kid? Our universe is growing. We've got a couple new listeners emailing in now.
Excuse me, it's Lone Wolf Club Music on Facebook. Lone Wolf Club Music.
Like them on Facebook. So Jake made a challenge a couple weeks ago that if you're a ghost listener, if you're just listening and you haven't emailed in, we've had a couple new listeners email in. So reach out to us. Be our friends. isthatyourkid@yahoo.com. @isthatyourkid on Twitter. And our Twitter has got a lot of pop recently because I went to see the film Tusk. Kevin Smith, Haley Joel Osment, and Justin Long favorited a tweet. So we've had our Twitter's blown up so hard that we had Justin Long favorite a tweet, Haley Joel Osment favorite a tweet.
Two famous people clicked one button and made our tweet a star.
Game of Thrones has liked our tweets.
That's also
Mike
true.
Birbiglia favorited our tweet. So we're there. We're getting there. And with your help, and the biggest way you could support us is subscribe on iTunes and write a review. Talk to us so we know that you're out there and you're loud and you want to share with your friends, because the more you guys are into the show, the more we are.
That's right. Speaking of ghost listeners, we had Bruce email in.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know this was my boy Bruce from school.
I know.
Bruce W.
Mm-hmm.
My boy.
Mm-hmm.
Good friend.
Legitimate friend from school.
Genuine guy. I could honestly say he's one of the most genuine people I went to school with.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of classes together.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of fun with it. I wish we would have had more classes together, but hey, that's the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce,
He'll catch up because he emailed
gotta get
in
that
and
girlfriend into our show. Hopefully you already have.
He's on to episode 18, Yes All Witches. That's the one with Lulu, who she co-hosted.
Hosted for me.
Mm-hmm. Hosted for
Did
you.
a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I had something else, but I forget.
I'll just go on then.
Oh, speaking
on.
about ghost listeners, we might have an Apple genius become a fan. I had
Ooh.
some problems with my iTunes account
Mm-hmm.
based on an email change. One thing led to another. I logged on to their chat help.
Yeah.
Very cool. Usually it seems like some robot. There's a very cool guy. And one thing led to another really quickly. I'll send it out on a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got onto MS Paint, wrote him a hello message because we shared screens. I downloaded the thing.
That
so
is the
he could,
cutest thing.
and his name was Otis, and I painted it Microsoft Paint. I wrote, "Hi Otis," smiley face. He screenshotted it, and he said that this never happened to him before.
That's such a brilliant idea.
Because when he logged onto my screen,
you already had that
said
up.
that. Mm-hmm. It said, "Hi, Otis," and he said LOL.
And did he write a LOL?
He wrote LOL in the chat, which I thought, this guy's a real person. So I thanked him, and then I bumped "Is that your kid?" right before I logged off. He said, "Thanks, I'll check it out." Otis, I told him to give, if he feels like, give us 3 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, just, Otis, you work for Apple. You have connections. Otis, Jake is my boy. You're my boy.
Steve Jobs, I'm sure you've talked with it.
We need to know. Otis, if you're listening, listen to the Breakathon. Jake and I are really proud of that one. I thought we had great fun. Shondor was on that too. But I would like to take this time to thank my friend Jake for talking about me today. I didn't know it was going to go that way, but you had a little more of a background of what makes me me, and as in the continuing weeks follow, we might dig more into that because I like personalized anythings, both with Jake. If he has some backstories, I have some backstories. We're not going to be on the air next week, so we have a week off. So for all your friends that are catching up on the podcast, or maybe for you who you've caught up to the podcast, you're really into what we do, and you're like, guys, I don't have an episode this week, and I'm crying about it. Listen to a past episode, or do us a favor, tweet a past episode that you like, Facebook a past episode you like, reblog on Tumblr a past episode that you like. Share it with your friends. I'm going to give you this week to do that, and hopefully when we come back for 30 days of Halloween, Is That Your Kid, you will be proud of what we have in store. So, as per usual, I'm going to send this over to Jake to send out this very personal and very random episode of Is That Your Kid?
Todd, the almost ice cream man. Well, I haven't showered yet today, but I'm going to as soon as we're done.
Chinese food.
I'm sure your hair's still wet on your way to work. Maybe it's dried by now. Mm-hmm. Todd agrees.
Mm-hmm. Towel dry it.
Thank you to Lone Wolf Club for being a musical guest.
Thank you, Lone Wolf Club.
We'll set up a show very soon.
Again, in our absence, we will be gone next week, but you can hit us up at Is That Your Kid on Twitter, isthatyourkid@yahoo.com, and rest in peace, Rob Baronis. Go Titans.
See me coming, you ain't got no change. Don't worry, baby, it could be arranged. Show me you can smile, baby, just for me. Fix you with a drumstick, I do it for free, 'cause I'm an ice cream man. I'm a one-man band. I'm an ice cream man, honey, I'll be good to you. Be good to you. Be good to you.
That's as thick as an elephant's trunk and as long as a giraffe's neck. And
why are you using animals to give this reference? Why are animals? I've never held an elephant's trunk